Hi. I thought I'd put together some introductory notes for the Level 1 Mental Toughness debate seminars. So these are taking place in a couple of weeks' time, and the expectation is that in your seminar groups you will engage in a debate about mental toughness. It's a very current area within sports psychology, and as such, you know, whether you're into sport or not, it's quite an exciting time because it's quite a lively debate. It's one of those areas where there is, I'm not sure if polarised views is a too strong a word, but there is certainly a very diverse range of opinions in relation to the nature of what mental toughness is. So the debate is designed to give you an opportunity to get into that, to really develop an awareness of how psychological arguments, or how arguments about concepts actually take place within an academic community. So I'm going to run through the guidelines, which are on Blackboard, but I just thought I'd talk through them and, you know, flesh them out a little bit, if you like. So there is it's a debate. So the expectation is that within the seminars there will be two groups. There will be a pro mental toughness group and an anti-mental toughness group. And in some ways you will be able to structure your reading and understanding accordingly. But the paramount things, first of all, is you get a good understanding of what mental toughness is. Start to develop an understanding as to whether you think, you know, it exists as a concept or not. To start to think, well, issues about how do you operationalise it? I mean, how do you actually, you know, if it does exist, how do you actually make it work? Can we create, if you like, mentally tough athletes? And the other thing about sports psychology as well is that increasingly other areas of psychology are starting to tap into, to borrow, if you like, research and understandings that have evolved out of work in a sport and exercise context. So organisational psychology, for example, there's a lot of crossover between the two, and it's a quid pro quo, or a reciprocal process, if you like. But in terms of your prep for the debate, a number of things that you need to do. When you're doing your reading, and I'll talk about the articles in a moment, when you're doing the reading, have at your mind an aim of getting an understanding of, well, how did this concept develop? Where did it come from? Has it always been around? Think then about you know, the arguments for and against its existence. You will have been given a transcript of a speech, a keynote speech done at a sports psychology conference in Madeira last year. A very good keynote speech. I recorded it and then transcribed it and then annotated it slightly, took out some of the material that perhaps was a little bit superfluous. But what you're left with is an opportunity to actually, you know, almost hear, but you clearly won't hear it because it's written down, a key figure in the area discussing the issues that you're going to be thinking about within the debate. So have a read through the transcript, pay some attention to it. There's some really interesting information there which will inform your position within the debate, if you like. So as you're preparing, then think about the arguments for and against. Okay. I've already talked about that notion of how you might operationalise it, how you make it work, and so that's just something that will go through and be a thread in your thinking, if you like, as you're reading through the material. And the end point in terms of prep is for you to come up with, hopefully individually, because you've got to work collectively within the seminar, to come up with at least 4 arguments in favour of mental toughness as a concept, and 4 arguments against its existence as a construct. Okay. Now it's important that you do that because that will inform the debate. When you're allocated a group, pro or anti, you'll get together with your peers and you'll be able to collectively put your argument together. Okay, just a word on the reading. I'm aware that this is level 1, but what I've not done is simply choose, in inverted commas, easy articles for you to read. Nor have I chosen difficult articles for you to read. I've chosen articles from out there in peer-reviewed, well-respected journals. And as such, it may be that some of you find it quite challenging. But that's okay. Is that part of being mentally tough, to work through when you find something challenging? I don't know. You tell me. So it is going to be challenging. However, it is part and parcel of your journey through the degree. So use the readings as examples or exemplars of how you actually begin to come to grips with the material that's out there. When you don't understand a concept, look it up. Find out more about it. Talk to other people about it. Look through the abstract. Clearly, research methodology wise, you might not be up to speed with all that you're seeing there. Don't worry about that. Just glean what you can. Learn what you can within the time frame that you've got. Okay, so those articles, they're not chosen for ease, nor are they chosen for difficulty. They are salient articles. Okay. In terms of the debate itself then, what will happen? Well, you'll have a seminar leader, which will be one of the teaching team here, and when you get together in a group, you'll be given 20 or 30 minutes. First of all, you'll be allocated a position, pro or anti. You'll see on Blackboard there's a folder for each preparation sheet for a pro or anti. So have a look at those before you go in. Once you're in the group, you'll have 20 or 30 minutes to discuss your position, to gather views, to collate opinion, if you like, and put together as coherent an argument in support of your position as possible. Okay. Once that's done, you'll be called together in the big group and we'll try and engineer a debate. You will have to, within your groups, elect a spokesperson just to kickstart the debate, if you like. So the debate will start with the for mental toughness debate, just summarising the main arguments for their position. Okay. Now, the framework that I've used to give life to the debate is a budgetary debate on how a council or organisation might spend £3 million. The pro group want to spend this money developing a programme to produce mentally tough athletes. You could almost do what you want with it, but you could contextualise it in terms of the Olympics in 4 years' time. We want this £3 million and we're actually going to put this together to develop mentally tough athletes. The anti-group don't think that's a good use of money. Now, in some ways, you don't need to specify how you might want that £3 million spent, although that might be useful to think about. How would you spend it? But that's not the core of the debate. The point is, the anti-group are going to be arguing that that is not a good use of money, and maybe the funding should be spread evenly across sports to support underfunded sports or whatever. Yeah, and I'll leave you to decide how you want to do that. So so that's the process. That's the process of the debate. The chair will steer the discussion. Hopefully you can make it a lively kind of discussion, and the end point will be to have some fun. As a sports psychologist, I'm quite interested at the moment in how enjoyment is one of the first things that starts to slip out of elite sports participation. But anyway, that's an aside. So to have fun, to develop an understanding of this concept of mental toughness, because you will hear it a lot if you start to tune into sport and exercise psychology, and in lots of other contexts as well. It's a growing thing, if you like. So that's the nature of debate. To have fun, to develop an understanding of a current hot topic within psychology, also to broaden your depth and understanding of research articles, and make connections between your reading of those articles and other elements of both the Psychology in Action module and Psychology Year 1 in general. Okay, and there'll be a full set of preparatory readings in the folder on Blackboard. Okay, thank you very much.